The main villain of Denis Villeneuve's Dune, Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, is portrayed with oily, gruff menace by Stellan Skarsgård. But who exactly is this gross, powerful man with a penchant for hovering feet above the ground? This is Dune's villain Vladimir Harkonnen explained. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen wasn't always an unappealing mound of menace and rolls of fat. In fact, he used to be quite the looker. In his younger days, Vladimir was closer to a classic fantasy bad guy with a well-trained frame, red gold hair, and the requisite villainous widow's peak. By the time Dune takes place, years of debauchery have turned the Baron into the kind of man you see in the movie, so massive that he relies on lifting devices known as suspensors to move around. There's also an expanded Dune universe take of the Baron's unsavory appearance, which involves a condition he contracted as a punishment for certain particularly disgusting actions.
Never met Harkonnens before. I have. They're not human, they're brutal!
Frank Herbert's first Dune novel came out in 1965, and when the author crafted a bad guy for the book, he didn't mess around. The Baron is a ruthless sadist in pretty much every aspect. In fact, the gross manipulative monster in Denis Villeneuve's Dune spares audiences the worst of it. As sinister as he is in the film, he's still a heavily revamped version of the character's irredeemable print version. Villeneuve recognized that certain aspects of the book's Baron wouldn't work for modern sensibilities, which is why he gave the character a pretty heavy redesign.
Kill them all.
Stellan Skarsgård is a wonderful actor, but even he required some assistance to transform into a hovering 600-pound space despot. As the Los Angeles Times reports, Denis Villeneuve wanted to turn him into a huge yet physically frightening presence. I was trying to bring him closer to the spirit of a gorilla than a fat baby. I wanted to get away from a feeling of decadence and more toward a feeling of power. According to USA Today, this required the 70-year-old Skarsgård to wear an 88-pound prosthetic suit with a hidden cooling system for the role, and the makeup process was nothing short of arduous. In fact, turning Skarsgård into Baron Harkonnen took 6.5 hours, and freeing him from the layers of prosthetics and makeup at the end of the day took a further 2. This CGI-free approach demanded a lot from Skarsgård, but allowed for a realistic and terrifying performance. Harkonnen sounds like a pretty good made-up name for a sci-fi villain, but according to Dune Wiki, there's actually a pretty solid and surprisingly grounded etymology behind it. The series takes place in humanity's faraway future, and the name has evolved from the Finnish surname Harkonnen. Per Brian Herbert's book, The Dreamer of Dune, the biography of Frank Herbert, the Harkonnen-Finland connection is indeed correct, but that doesn't mean it's all that deep. The Dune author apparently found the harsh-sounding name in a phone book. The idea that Baron Harkonnen's house has its origins in this Nordic country is a fascinating one. Today, you might know Finland as one of the happiest countries in the world with a unique relationship to metal music. However, fast forward far enough into the future, and these peaceful headbangers might well be the biggest, most depraved tyrants around, at least in Dune's world.
Their cruelty to my people is all I've known.
The 2021 Dune has already given you Skarsgård's Vladimir Harkonnen and his ruthless nephew, the equally waxy-looking but far more physically formidable Glossu Raban. However, House Harkonnen's most charismatic monster is still lurking in the shadows. This would be Fade Rautha Harkonnen, the Baron's favorite nephew. Casual fans might mostly remember Fade from Sting's turn as a character in the David Lynch version of Dune. Threatening as he is, he also memorably wears a futuristic winged codpiece/speedo, which might somewhat undermine the terror. But don't think for a second that the character is a joke. Fade is a wicked, smart, and charismatic person who's also one of the absolute best fighters in the known universe. Essentially, he's a dark mirror image of protagonist Paul Atreides, in that they come from a fairly similar background. But while Paul's house is a noble one, Fade has been fully assimilated into the ambitious, sadistic culture of House Harkonnen. Young Fade is conspicuously absent from Villeneuve's Dune Part 1, but might just get to make his grand entrance in the potential sequel. In many ways, he's the final ace in Baron Harkonnen's sleeve, a critical part of a story that's only just begun. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite movies and TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.